Okay, I want to walk through the garden and show you guys what kind of things I'm growing this year. Some of the neighbors are out doing their yard work, so you'll have to excuse the lawnmower sounds in the background. But I'm just going to try to keep this under 5 minutes if I can, just to kind of give you guys a sneak peek at what I'm growing. And I'm also going to go ahead and pull out some of these sugar snap peas over here. I have been harvesting and harvesting and harvesting sugar snap peas, so I've already got some put up in the freezer, and they're slowing down. They're still producing one or two here and there, but I need that space for tomatoes and peppers, and I need those trellises, so out the peas are going to go. I have tomatoes waiting for a spot in the garden. And since I have the black walnut tree, I cannot really place them anywhere else in the garden, so they're going to go in this bed this year, okay? And so I have some kale here. I have a lot of carrots coming up all through the garden. I'll leave a link to how you can grow carrots too, if that's something that you want to do. Brussels sprouts everywhere. This is the first year I've grown Brussels sprouts here. And well, you can see they're doing great. They're suffering a little bit right now because it's the heat of the day. And they'll be fine tonight. They'll perk back up. But I'm going to pull out a lot of these. I think I have 6 or 7 plants. And I just want to keep about 3. Plus I want this spot for other things. So I'll probably pull all of them out of this bed, and I'll keep the ones over here in this bed. Okay, and I have a tomato plant I already popped in the corner over here. I like to put my tomato plants in the corners of my square foot garden so that I can give them some support on the outside of the bed. I have a lot of lettuce down here growing in the shade of the sugar snap peas. On the archway here, you notice that I've taken out a lot of my arches this year. I have some French fillet gold pole beans here. So that's the first year that I've grown those. Looking forward to that. And over here on this side, I'm going to put some greasy beans. I haven't sowed those yet. This is kind of a shady bed for me. It's around 4 in the afternoon. So over here I've planted more spinach in the shade. I have some green beans. I have a couple of beautiful little nasturtium plants. And I put a pepper over here. I'm hoping that it'll get enough sun. If not, the square foot garden is easy enough to where I can just pick that up and then just pop it over there in one of those spots where the sugar snap peas are growing. All right, and same thing with that little tomato plant right there. That's called a sweet pea currant, and it's supposed to be really, really tiny tomatoes. So I'm looking forward to that. A viewer sent me some seeds for that. And then, of course, a lot more carrots all throughout the bed. I have green onion, a beautiful French tarragon plant there. Down here I have galangal, and then I just put in some more green bean plants. Beautiful poppies all through the garden. So if you notice a little punch of color, these are seeds that I just sprinkled out in March. Okay, and they are just doing wonderfully. Really happy about the little poppies this year. Over here is pretty much an herb bed. Of course, I have my little guineas over there. The neighbor's guineas are paying me a visit right now. At any rate, over here is just covered up with dill and cilantro. All of it pretty much is going to seed. And then I have all of my gray shallots. So these are getting ready, I think, for harvest. So I'm hoping they'll do better for me this year than they did last year. Last year I put them in a raised bed and it really got a little bit too hot for them. So I'm hoping they'll do a lot better this year. I have a carrot here that I've let over winter, and that will pop into something absolutely beautiful. It's got blooms all over it. And I've also put some giant zinnias in here, some echinacea that I divided and I transplanted it into the garden, and that was also, I believe, in March. I'll leave you a link if you'd like to grow echinacea as well. And I put over here, I believe this is a Romanesco zucchini. I'll show you something really quick. You know, I mentioned that I have the black walnut tree in my garden, and I'll leave a link to that if you'd like to see why that tree right there is such a problem for me, which is all filled in since the video that I did on it. So in this bed I went ahead, I transplanted over another Romanesco zucchini, and it's only half the size of the one that I put over there. That one's doing much better. Really, hardly anything does well over here. I have some amaranth has reseeded right here. That's the elephant head amaranth. Has some fennel, looking good over here. Cucumbers down here that I planted from seed. I have thyme. Here's the red Reuben onion that I like so much, and that one's, those only get about, I don't know, golf ball size in my climate, and I don't mind that at all. They are just little wonderful little onions. And this is the other side of the bed. that I just showed you with all of the cilantro. And down here I have some lemongrass growing, looking good. I'll leave a link if you want to grow lemongrass. I have potatoes, a lot of little potatoes right here, doing pretty well. I put some more Greek oregano over here. Love Greek oregano. And then some of the onions over here are already falling over, and it looks like one of them's going to seed. That's not supposed to happen, but it is. Sometimes things like that happen. A little mint here, spearmint. And potatoes. These potatoes aren't doing very well over here, but that sometimes happens too. A lot more gray shallots, poppies, weeds, and these are the blue Adirondack potatoes. They look like they're doing pretty good. And I'm also going to go ahead and pull out some of the peas over here that are in my son's bed. They're still producing, but just a tiny bit of blossoms here and there, tiny bit of peas. And he is probably going to plant his corn this week. So I'm going to pull a lot of this out actually. I've kind of been ignoring this bed. But I will leave in green onions and this really pretty little dill plant here. And then the carrots, of course, I'll leave those in here. I have stevia. I'm going to move that so he can have almost the entire bed. This is cilantro. I'll go ahead and pull this out because I have so much growing in other areas. I'll leave the flat leaf Italian parsley. And then this kale is getting eaten up. I have not been spraying it. If you are growing kale or something like that, keep it sprayed with BT, and that'll take care of any problems that you have. But I've had a wonderful harvest of kale this year, and well, I just kind of ignored this one. So I told you I hadn't really been paying much attention to this bed over here. And then chervil has bolted, so that'll come out as well. So there's the garden, and I hope everyone out there is enjoying their gardens this year. If it's your first garden, or if you've been gardening for a while, you know it's a lot of fun to get outside and just enjoy the outdoors this time of year. Thanks so much for watching, and have a beautiful day.